We won about 10 of these facilities right across Canada. And then we won another 100 across the United States eventually. The number one question is, it's nice to have these facilities, but will anybody buy the product? At the same time, one of my jobs is to actually go out and prove the market. This product here is designed in such a way that it's affordable because we can scale so the farmers can afford it. A lot of times when you're looking at products and if they're organic, they're too expensive. People can't even use them. So it's not fair to have to sacrifice their financial benefits for their family to be able to provide this product. One of the biggest challenges we face right now isn't the science. It's earning the trust of the people who actually are going to use it. You know, because asking a farmer to change how they farm, it's a big ask. So when farmers hesitate because they operate on tight margins, every one of their decisions carries risk. One bad season could send them back years. So when they hesitate, it's not resistance. This is experience, because they've been presented with products that are supposed to be miracle cures and that can change their crop. And so they're hesitant, and rightfully so. And that's exactly why our focus, especially right now, is directly on the farmer and educating them on the benefits of this. So not through distributors, not through associations first, but right with the farmer, because early adoption doesn't start at the top. It starts in the field. And over the past few years, we focused on proving that this works, trials, field validation, and real conditions. But late last season, we started seeing early adoption. Farmers willing to try it, such as Baldev Dugan and Smart Farmer, going out and actually tried it on the blueberry fields. One farmer in particular spoke with JD and thanked him for this, was cherry grower in Creston. And he started small, a single tote, late season applications, basically. He actually drove all the way from Creston to pick up that tote. And for him to find me was a miracle in and of itself, because he purchased 2 fig trees on Mother's Day. He remembers this clearly. One for his mother and one for his aunt. And then what he noticed a few weeks later, his aunt's fig tree was actually flourishing and bigger, but his mother's was like yellow and died. And you got to remember, he's a farmer, right? A cherry farmer. He should be able to grow this fig tree. And he asked her, what are you doing different? She only had this small bottle. It does go a long way. One little capful goes in 1 liter of water. She gave him a Tupperware container, small one, to go bring back. And within a week or two, his mom's tree rebounded back. And then he went and looked on the label. And at the time, he went to the website and he looked up the Korean number of her phone there. And then they eventually redirected him back to me. So he calls me up on the phone. He says, hi, I'm Money Schwag. That's his name. And he says, I want to buy a ton of this bioenhancer. And I'm thinking, who are you? Like, I had no idea who he was. And then he says, I want to bring it to Creston. I said, where's Creston? I haven't even heard of this before. And actually said, don't worry. Oh, look at this. Again, the bioenhancer. Yeah, happy place, right? So what happened was that he actually drove all the way down here, the tote on the back, and then brought it out there. He applied it 2 times. And the neat thing about it was all the other farms in his area were dealing with mildew. He had mildew too, but it hadn't gotten on his fruit yet. And this was right before harvest. They were actually going to pull, and he calls us. He says, can I spray this on the fruit? Because normally you don't want to spray anything on the fruit. So we asked our scientists, he said, okay, you can spray it. It won't affect the tree. So the thing that happened, other people had mildew, he had none on the fruit. And so he didn't just become a customer, he became an advocate, just like Baldev, one of the first. He did it without even trying it at first, and then saw the difference, and he saw the vision. And one thing that both of them did, they actually walked the fields with us, invited us into their homes and spoke directly to the farmers at their kitchen table, introducing us to many growers. That's how trust starts, farmer to farmer. And that's also why we've chosen to build this from the ground up, working directly with farmers first. So when this scales, and it will scale through distributors and associations, it's going to be backed by real results and not just claims. So now fast forward to today, and this is where things really begin to shift. In just the past couple of months, we've seen farmers move from curiosity to commitment. We've had a full truckload get sent to Kansas, nearly 20,000 liters going into pasture. And then we had blueberry growers in the Fraser Valley taking over 12,000 liters of this product. An orchard in Washington and many orchards in the Okanagan. As well, broadacre farms in Saskatchewan. We're running trials across multiple crops, different regions, different crops, the same signal. So farmers will try something new only when they see it working on a farm like theirs. And alongside that, we've been working with leading research and industry groups, from university partnerships to poultry and soil research programs, to validate performance and bring that knowledge into the field. And we don't take that lightly, because this phase, commercialization, isn't about selling harder. It's about selling better and about showing up better. We work with agronomists and soil specialists, people farmers already trust. We host workshops and town halls like we did in the Soyuz last weekend, where we focus on education and not pitching. And we spend time in the field, listening, learning, understanding real challenges. We know it's not going to happen overnight. Also, we're offering pioneer pricing because early trust must be earned. So what's happening now is this is becoming a two-way relationship. Farmers aren't just customers, they're our partners, and they're helping us to build this through feedback, results, and real-world data. This isn't just about selling product. It's about building a network of informed growers who can lead adoption. And the reason we can take this approach is because we already know the product works. Changing how people farm is hard. It takes time. It takes trust. But when something works and you're entrusted in the field, that's how adoption happens. And that's exactly where we are right now.